And good morning, people. Welcome back to Star Ocean till the end of time. Last time we got Nel, and now I can use her, and she is one of my favourite characters in this game. A runologist working for the Sacred Kingdom of Aquaria. Infiltrated the Kingdom of Hieroglyphs in order to gather information as a spy. She feels like fate is the one prophesied in ancient Aquarian texts and decided to contact him regardless of any danger that this might entail. Seems like she feels that we are quite important. And we are. Now, the reason why I chose this game over, let's say, Star Ocean 4 or Star Ocean 1 is mostly the diversity that I can gather in this game. In Star Ocean 4, I have one character I can use. One character I use constantly, which is Raimi, if people have played that game. And if you do know about her, she uses a bow, and I just sit back going pew pew all over the enemies. Not really getting into any danger, not really getting into much. In this game, I use multiple characters, so you will see a diverse set of styles between them. I use Fate a lot, I use Nel a lot. There are a few characters later which I use. So you will see it much more diverse gameplay than you would with Star Ocean 4. Yeah, Nel is a mid-range fighter, a pretty low HP, but quite high on the MP. She's very all-round. Fate and Nel have very good similarities between them in playstyle, but you just have to be a bit more careful with the way Nel works. Cliff, he's just a beast with lots of HP. Put him on the front lines, let him do his work. I don't fight with Cliff all too often. As for pretty much her skills, Shockwave emits a long and narrow shockwave in the direction faced. Hold the button down to initiate. Very similar to the way that Blade Fury works, just doesn't have a multiple instance attack. Blade Fury, you hit it 3 times to get more damage later on, but Shockwave you don't. Common support symbols can now use healing in battle as well as antidote. If it's not equipped, you can't actually use them in battle. SP for Nel, I have 6, so I'm going to up her HP. Yeah, mostly because she needs the HP total. MP, she doesn't really need it. The other two, not really necessary right now. HP, 30 extra, not much, but at the start of the game like it is, very helpful. Symbology. Healing. Heals one member of the party. And Firebolt, the basic fire attack. Quite good in this area because most things are weak against fire. As for equipment, Basillards and Ringmail. And I'm not sure why I went to this screen. Here's post commentary if you haven't noticed already. Anyway, that's what she looks like in battle. One short dagger with one longer dagger at the back. Her main weapon is the short dagger. The long one she uses with her skills. You'll see that a lot more later, but right now she doesn't have quite that much. She has an alternate costume, being white. It's not really that infiltrationist. But yeah. And if you want to know what Cliff's looks like, there it is. Yeah. The second costumes aren't that great. The third and fourth are okay. Anyways, I'm going to cut this out because it's getting rid of all of these and some of them contain spoilers. So back in a second. In actual fact, a lot of them actually hold spoilers. So yeah, if you want to know more about what you're going to get later on in the game, just go to the dictionary and go through all these. At this point, you've got quite a lot of entries if you just go through them like that, because some lead on to others. Anyways, I could go for 100%, but it's not going to be possible because of, well, stuff in the room. There's a lot of ice around. It's not going to actually happen. So I'll be back later for that. Worm-eaten tome. That gives common attack symbols. I won't be using that just now. You can only use them in battle when they're equipped, and the attack symbols it gives you is Firebolt, Ice Needles and Earthglaive. Quite good, but not really that necessary right now. It'll probably go to Fate eventually, but for the moment, not just yet. I could equip it, but yeah, it's going to take off of First Aid, and as much as I don't like First Aid, it is helpful. And into the next room, where we see a lot of ice. This is why we won't get 100% on this level, because we have no way of getting rid of the ice. Later we will, but right now not so much. Going down the ladder, I am just about to get a bit lost in a second, looking for the way. Under the waterfall. There we go. And over to a couple of chests. A ring mail, which isn't really helpful because everyone's equipped with one. And some blueberries, which is a bit more helpful. Usable items in battle, yeah, very helpful. Up the ladder. And yeah, you can actually move a lot more on the ladder than you would in other games, which is a nice little touch. And our first enemy, a flying fish.
Here I go. Looks like an even match.
Yeah, that doesn't really start off too well. These enemies already have 1,000 hit points. I'm not joking. They will take quite a beating. And symbology to Nel because she's getting beat on over there. I don't get it off, but Nel decides to heal herself, which is helpful. And there goes one. And I miss again. There we go. 2 XP. Yeah, XP hasn't really increased all that much just yet. It will do, but for the moment we're going to have quite a bit of trouble with it. You really need triple XP to keep on track of things in the early game. And if you notice down on the corner there is a exit. We can't get to it because of the ice. We will be doing that later, but right now, yeah, we need to get something first. This is where I noticed that's the way to go, and I'll go back. and fight the fish again.
Here I go. Bring it on.
And oh yeah, I'll turn to Nel to show a few things. Shockwave. Gives you her attack. Her attack pattern is you want to be running in, getting out. Otherwise, she doesn't really do too much. Her attacks are quite slow. Oh, and she doesn't combo them quite as well. If you're getting close, you do get that spin, but that's quite hard to pull off. At least on the smaller enemies. The larger one, it's not too bad. So I go through the other exit eventually. There we go. And there should be a chest in this room with a warrior's bracelet. This is a very nice item. Bracelet then raises attack with a 5% attack increase, plus its normal or attack increase of 20. Yeah, that helps do a lot of damage. And I'll cut this one out.
That's a dirty trick.
And back with a new enemy, which is a slime. These can actually poison, and they're weak against fire. They're not too impressive. You just need to be careful of their be a bit careful of their poison. That's about it. They do have some pretty mean attacks though that can critical quite easily and get rid of your bonus bar. Anyways, into the next room where, well, more slimes turn up. I believe this is the point where I show that enemies have 1,000 hit points. Resistant to earth, and oh wait, they're not weak against fire. Most things are in this area anyway. And there we go. Yeah, that quick attack was quite annoying. It hits pretty much everything around it and can critical quite easily. More ice? Yeah, not really going too far in the exploration of this area. Now, where was I going? Oh, this was the point where I just went this way. I went the other way, thinking there was something around here, when there isn't. Going through this room, seeing that this is the way to go. Oh, thinking that's the way to go when it's actually this way which is the way to go. But I do notice a couple of enemies. Some new skeletons. And first interaction with poison. Luckily, I have antidote. The skeletons actually hit very hard, as you can see. And luckily I turned to Nel and get her healing off pretty quickly. You might notice there she did a second attack. If there are two enemies near each other and she does her long range strong attack, she can attack the other enemy which is nearby, which is not too bad. And there we go. Skeleton Soldier. Again, another thing with 1000 HP. Vulnerable to fire. And I'm using Firebolt from the menu. There we go.
That was easy.
Luckily, the menu pauses the fight, so it's not too bad.
Here I go. Looks like
Toads. Toad beasts, sorry. Again, 1000 HP. Vulnerable to fire, strong against water. And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, getting more fights. As you can see, it's paused. So I just do a bit of... you've got as long as you want to think out your moves tactically. Oh yeah, healing. You might notice MP is quite limited at the moment. That will change very soon, hopefully, because of something I'm going to do after this. Especially when they actually do MP damage.
Know your enemy before you strike the first blow.
Fate has 22 MP left. Yeah, that's not much. And remember, if MP goes to 0, you will go down. This is the point where I think, should I give him something? Should I do anything? I decide to actually just hold on to it and just use him myself for a little while. Shouldn't be too bad. But I think in the end I actually go back to the recovery spot after I see that is in actual fact the correct way to go. Because I notice these enemies and actually go into the fight with them. Okay. Oh, this is when Nel goes down. And yeah, I'm getting a bit lucky with my with the hits because they haven't broken my XP, my bonus gauge. And there goes Nel. I was thinking about using an item, but then I noticed that remember that I don't have any berries for getting her up. Cliff's very close to being down, but he stays up. And I didn't want to use that healing because I only had one, and any sort of MP damage. So I head back to the health station. Luckily you can avoid pretty much any fight because they are shown on the map. And I head back fighting along the way, so I will cut this out because you've seen all the enemies.
Know your enemy before you strike the first blow.
And Sphere of Might. But nothing for now. Few quick levels. Sphere of Might. Generates a short range shockwave, does 4 hits, but it is pretty much a basic attack. Anyways, just looking through things, and I'll be back once I get back to that room.
Here I go. Bring it on.
And one enemy. I'm back in the room. Luckily, the fight isn't constantly the same. and I just have this one to deal with. So should be okay. And it's trying to go goodbye and run away, but
preferred a more worthy opponent.
got it out. Unfortunately, less enemies mean less experience, even with triple XP. Healing from the menu again. 6 mastery. As mastery goes up, you get more heal out of it. I believe at the moment it heals for 30% XP, 30% HP, and when it's mastered fully, it does 50% HP. So it is not a full heal ever, but it is pretty substantial. More toads.
Real fight.
Looks like a good fight.
Blade of Fury. Spear of Might.
As you can see, Sphere of Might just there, and yeah, I'm just using Firebolt. Same with Firebolt. As you level it up, you get more Firebolts appear. So at the moment, I'm getting 1, and later on there'll be 2. I believe the most you can have flying around the screen is 4 in a single thing. Anyways, Fury and spells. You need at least as much Fury as you've got as you need MP. So for a healing spell, you need 20 Fury and 20 MP. Firebolt 10 MP and 10 Fury. Otherwise, they won't be able to be used. And this combat should be ending soon. There we go.
That was fun.
Again, more healing. I believe I go back to the things botting a little bit because I'm running low on MP. Now you might notice at the back a big chest, but there's a lot of ice in the way. Yeah, not getting that for a very long time. And more fish.
Moron, know your enemy before you strike the first blow.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Got a level 4 fate, but you might notice that Nel is paralysed. I don't have anything to recover that at all. If all 3 characters get paralysed, I do believe it's a game over. Yeah, it's quite a bad status effect, and as far as I remember, it doesn't. You don't recover from it naturally. So it is not a good status effect to have. Fresh Sage, not too bad. Which I look there and think, oh right, that's the revive one. Yeah, I could use that. And yeah, now I'm just trying to avoid the fish because I don't want to get into a battle with a paralysed person on my team. And I'm heading back to the recovery point in hopes that it will fix it. Again, avoiding the monsters because, well, I can. Now, does it fix from that recovery point? Well, actually, yes it does. Even though I don't show it for some reason. And I just run back past the monsters because I'm going to be doing a bit of grinding anyway soon. Just to get a bit of experience, but more importantly to get a few items. Now we go the correct way. Do I fight those? No, I don't.
Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. it's just the ground's frozen.
Huh? Looks treacherous. We'll have to walk carefully.
Right.
Keyword there, walk. If you run, well, you slide. And if you go splat against the wall, you will be teleported back up to the top and have to walk back down again. There's the next save point, which is where I'm going to leave this off. I will be between the parts collecting a few items, very important items that will make the game a little bit easier right at this moment, but I'll show you them next time. So I guess that's it for now. Okay, what am I doing? Nothing there. Anyways, through that door, we'll see what happens. Until then, have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. Goodbye.